So we are here with JP Reynolds today. We're at the Triton Fall Expo, sponsored by Triton and YATCO. And we're talking to the people that are making this happen today. And Jay, you're here to talk to people about your business, which is in customs clearance. It sounds like you're handling everything from goods and services to the crew and yachts that are transiting through. Welcome to Yachting USA. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
All right. So tell us a little bit about JP Reynolds and what you guys do. What sets you apart? And more specifically, if someone wanted to get the 5-minute elevator pitch, what does the company actually provide as far as services and your products? So
certainly. Our company is started in 1970. We're 54 years old.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm born and raised Fort Lauderdale, so very few of us.
There's true.
Yeah. So the company is basically an international logistics company. It has certain divisions: import, export, transportation from overseas, which 182 different agents around the world. So it's a pretty vast network of people to help us accomplish our tasks. So beyond just the import and export side of things, we deal a lot with the yachting industry, obviously because of location. Being here in Fort Lauderdale.
Yachting capital of the world.
Yachting capital of the world, a shopping mall for all yachts.
Yeah.
This is where they find everything.
We're in National Marine Supply right now.
Yes, we are.
That's a candy store for yachties for sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So what we specialize in, not only in the transportation of the yachts, but also the transportation for the goods and services, the goods that the yachts need, warranty, provisioning, right, all kinds of different aspects that the yachting industry needs. One of the things that we're promoting here today is that we have a section of our company that specializes in the arrival and departure requirements for U.S. Customs for those foreign registered yachts coming into and out of the United States. And there are requirements by Customs, Immigration, other government agencies. We deal with Customs to handle the entrance and clearance documents.
Right.
One of the other bigger aspects of our company is something that I got involved in very early on, about 5 or 6 years ago, with ourselves, the Marine Industries Association and U.S. Customs, and dealing with the marine free trade zones.
Yes. A lot of the better known marinas and shipyards around here have set up these free trade zones.
Correct. And I've set most of them up.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thanks, Jay. That's been important.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And it's actually a really interesting part of the business. And my hat's off to Marine Industries Association of South Florida, Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, and U.S. Customs for kind of creating this idea. And a special shout out to U.S. Customs because they have regulations that they need to follow, but they've really taken to this. They really like this aspect of the business. And it allows these very large yachts to come in, be placed in the foreign trade zone without having to pay duty on the boat before offering for sale. And that is a great draw.
Yes, it is.
That is a great draw because a lot of those yachts are for sale all the time. And the alternative to that is you can either only show it at a boat show, which takes out most of the year, or you pay the duty on the boat, and that's
expensive.
That's
no one wants to do that.
Yeah. So putting the boats in the marine free trade zone has created a great market. And again, Customs in South Florida has been very...
It enhances that claim that we are the yachting capital of the world, because this is a fantastic place to come to do business, whether it's buying and selling your yachts or provisioning your yachts or get from shore to shore, for sure. So I have to ask you, you're here at the Triton Fall Expo. Is this the first time in?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right.
My first time here.
Yeah, we'll be curious to hear how you do and what you think of the day. I've attended some of these in the past, and they tend to be very well attended. And I think the Triton organization and YATCO has probably stepped up and put together a pretty good venue for us, weather permitting.
Weather permitting,
yeah. Absolutely.
Right now it's a little dicey, but we'll see how it goes.
Fantastic. Listen, Jay, I appreciate you joining us. Look forward to maybe circling back around in the future and learning more about your company. In the meantime, thanks for being part of Yachting International Radio's Yachting USA. And I hope you have a great, successful afternoon.
Thank you very much. Again, I appreciate the invitation. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thanks. Thank you. And until the next time, I'm out of here. Hi, this is Rick with the Yachting International Radio's Yachting USA, and I'm sitting with Brooke Bartenfelder. She's with United Island Yacht and Yacht.
Yes.
And we're at the Triton Fall Expo today, and we're here to talk about these interesting businesses that have come here. Is this your first time at the Fall Expo? Have you exhibited before?
So this is actually our third time.
Third time.
Yes. So we're pretty new, but happy to be here. Thank you for having me on this, Rick, as well.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Brooke. We've known each other for a while,
Yeah.
and now it's just fun to sit down together and have a real conversation about what you really do. You know, when I had the yacht management company, we collaborated some opportunities, bringing some of our boats over and dealing with crew and issues and all the fun. But you're way beyond all of that. Your business is so diverse and multifaceted. I would just ask, give us a few minutes of your time. Tell us really what it is you do. Walk us through the services you provide, please.
So essentially, we are a shore-based yacht agency. We do everything from government paperwork assistance with customs and immigration to broadcasting our business to search for other ways that we can assist yachts. So basically, that's anywhere from, again, like agriculture inspections to if you need an art appraiser, we'll find someone to do that. And just anything you can think of. It's a new experience every day. But we basically are the help that, based on land, it's easier for us to collaborate with other vendors, which is why it's a great opportunity to be here. And
at National Marine Supply.
Exactly. We work very closely with them. They've been very helpful.
For sure.
But basically a little bit of everything. So we kind of get with National Marine mostly, since I'll mention them since they're hosting. But anything you can think of.
Do you do much in the cruise space?
So right now, we're not a crew agency, but maybe that'll change in the future.
Okay,
we have
just want to make that clear because there's so many different disciplines within, you know, moving boats in and out, and crew kind of comes into that. But you also have, like you said, the whole logistical challenges of the big boats and not so big boats coming in from distant shores, and you know, making it comfortable, easy, and done right.
100%. That's our main client is foreign flag vessels, mostly over 300 gross tons, just because they have to have a lot more paperwork to accommodate for when they enter the U.S. We deal with Coast Guard paperwork, the NOAD, and just honestly anything you can really think of. If it's a little odd job, we're out there. We'll be the first ones to contact the supplier.
Well, I do know from my own experience. I've come into your office and it's like a ghost town because one of the big boats just came in and everybody's down, you know, at the port. Right.
We're on site.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Now, do you also have facilities or offices in the Bahamas?
So we have a sister company in the Bahamas. They're called United Shipping. You might be more familiar with them. They've been there since, I believe, 65.
Wow.
Yeah, so they've been there for a second. Don't quote me on that. I could be a little off.
They've been around for a while.
A while. But they do cargo ships, cruise ships, and yachts. But they're being our sister company right in the Bahamas. They're really close. So if anyone needs assistance there, we can always just recommend people like, hey, we know someone there. If you need a Bahamas visa, which, by the way, we are also able to supply.
Oh, wow.
It's great to have someone on site, just in case. You know how the Bahamas is. You mentioned the office being a ghost town. Well, we're not there, but sometimes it's really hard to find the right people, the right suppliers in the Bahamas. So we're really grateful to have them.
No, the Bahamas is definitely a destination where it helps if you know who you know.
Exactly.
You know, and
when
you've got those contacts, things go well, and when you don't, you're kind of like an outsider looking in.
Exactly.
Right.
100%.
Wow. Well, Brooke, this is fun. This is just kind of like an intro, and hopefully we can continue a conversation in the future to really do a deep dive into what you guys do.
Of course, it'd be awesome.
Great reputation, great business. They're here at the Triton Expo today, and thank you very much for joining Yachting USA.
Thank you. And just a little note as well,
Please.
We did expand. We have an office in West Palm Beach now, right next to Rybovich.
Bravo.
So we're able to just accommodate much closer and better than we did before. Usually we'd have to drive from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
But now we have an office there, so that's really helpful.
That avoids that I-95.
Exactly. And our main business is 100%. I-95 is terrible, but we also do Miami. Fort Lauderdale is where we're mainly based. But now West Palm Beach, we have an office there. It's much better for us to immediately be there on site. So
well, it's, you know, I was in an interview recently with Laura DeBella, who was the Commerce Secretary of the state of Florida at one point in time. And
awesome.
She was talking about the size of these ports. And Miami, I think, is
Yes.
arguably number one, but Fort Lauderdale is right behind. And
100%.
Palm Beach is, so boom, 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 right up the coast. We've got a lot of
Exactly.
infrastructure here.
Yeah.
Keeps you busy.
Oh, 100%. Port Everglades, especially since they're right next to our Fort Lauderdale office, we see all the traffic coming in
All
now.
right.
So it's exciting to see.
But I'm sure Joe's gonna be glad you took one for the team today.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
thanks for joining us. And
Yeah.
this is a lot of fun.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. It's my
Absolutely.
first interview podcast. So.
All right. So there we go. I'm glad I was the one to bring you into it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Brooke. Thanks.
Awesome.
And again, I'm out of here. Good afternoon. I'm here with Mike Harbaugh with Vantage Yacht Finances, president, founder of the company, and we're at the Triton Marine Expo today. Mike, welcome to Yachting USA. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for
pleasure.
having us.
It's good to be here. So first of all, first question, is this your first time at a Triton event?
I've been to multiple events, but this is the first time as a vendor.
Fantastic. May I ask what brought you to the table as a vendor? You just think it's the right demographic for what you're doing?
Yeah, as my business is expanding into the larger boat, the yacht market,
Right.
we found this a natural fit, and supporting YATCO and Triton both, it just became a natural for us to be here.
Well, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask, coming through a couple of difficult years, with our economy and watching what's happening in the yachting industry, it's interesting how there still are a lot of growth sectors in the industry. I've worked with a lot of high net worth individuals that are acquiring assets.
Sure.
That's kind of the space you're in. You're here to kind of help people figure out how to basically use their money to the best advantage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell us about it.
In the last couple of years, year and maybe 18 months to be exact, has been challenging because rates went up. Fortunately, we're seeing rates drop now.
Right.
And we're seeing markets go up again. So the cycle is repeating. But over the last 18 months, a lot of people have been paying a lot of cash and leveraging their assets and portfolios and other things like that. But that's going to be turning here in the next 12 to 18 months as we move forward.
Right. Okay. And Vantage's role in this? Help us out.
Yeah. So we're really we approach the market from a consultative standpoint.
Okay.
We believe if we don't get someone's business or the fortune of helping someone today, that we're going to help them tomorrow or next year
Yeah,
or
the
2
long
years
game.
from now. And so we're playing the long game at Vantage, and so what we do right now is, like I said, really more of a consultative approach to where we talk to people, because people are calling us saying, where are rates? What are we doing? What should we do?
Right.
And we tell people every week, well, now's not the greatest time to finance, or now is the greatest time to finance because the boat prices are more advantageous.
Right.
So there's been a swing where, with any type of drop when the supply and demand curve flips, it becomes a buyer's market.
Right. Yeah. And there's a lot of desperate boat builders right now looking to move
Sure.
some inventory.
So if you can save $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a boat right now, and we always say you marry the price of the boat,
Right.
but you date the rate.
Okay.
Because you can always refinance, right?
Right.
We saw that in real estate recently,
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So if you look at the economics of saving $50,000 now, paying $12,000 more in interest now, well, you save $38,000. Because when rates go down, the boat price is going to go up.
That's true.
Or the builders or the brokers or the consumers selling their boats through brokers aren't going to be as, the discounts aren't going to be as available as they are today.
Right. So you're basically helping to leverage a buyer's market right now.
But we do it, like I said, from a consultative standpoint.
Gotcha.
And it may be that the buyer says, I'm going to hold off till next spring.
Right.
And we're like, And we're like, that's fine. We're ready when you're ready.
There you go. That's cool. Well, this is really fascinating, Mike. I look forward to the opportunity to doing a deeper dive with you and getting into your business in a more intimate level.
Yeah.
And we'll thank you for coming and supporting the Triton Fall Expo.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Having this opportunity to really get some ideas running around. I know I'm
Appreciate
curious.
your time. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Absolutely, Mike.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
And I'm out of here. Hi, I'm with Eric Keller with Xpel. We're at the Triton Fall Expo. And Eric, I'm really curious to hear about your company. It seems like it came from a kind of a small, almost reactionary business and scaled into something pretty significant.
Are we talking about our origins or what we're doing in the marine side?
Well, your origins are interesting because that's where we all start. And I think what we were talking about earlier, you really did kind of find it necessary to reinvent what you needed to do to make the standards and achieve what you wanted to. And then, like a lot of businesses, you kind of fell into the yachting industry.
That's pretty much true.
Okay.
So a couple ways.
You give the people listening and watching a little background on how this all came about. I thought it was pretty fascinating.
Okay, so we've been in the automotive business and we've been in an operating business since 1997. And we started with racing enthusiasts. And originally we were a software company, and then because our customers wanted to get more because they couldn't find a good enough product out there, we went and tackled it. It took us a few years to learn how to do it right. And the product that we led with was our paint protection film that you would see as a clear bra on a car. And then it evolved over time to a whole myriad of products with ceramic coating and window tint and everything to make the installer's life to put it on. And it just started taking a life of its own because it finally met the quality of the product, finally met the expectations of a Porsche owner, of a Ferrari owner.
Right.
Or BMW or Land Rover.
Right. So, and then you heard that some people had discovered your product and started putting it on boats.
That's correct. So we got to a critical size, and it didn't matter if it was in the United States or overseas. You know, we would talk to some of our dealers and they're like, oh yeah, I've been putting on boats for a while, and here's some of our customers, and you know, shows up at Viking in New Jersey where they put it on the back 15 feet of the boat, wherever you're fishing and drinking, just on the service side, if a customer wants it. Or, you know, we've had some dealers like Big Thunder Marine pick us up. It's a value add where people have vinyl or any kind of graphics or a really nice paint job, or they're worried about any kind of damage or oxidation to the boat. It's always the same theme. It's, I want less headaches. I want my stuff to look good.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want to say it doesn't save me money, but in a way it does, because there's less stuff you have to do over the course of the ownership of the boat.
Well, like you're saying, that when you have a stewardess on board and she slips with a tray and does a significant amount of damage to the tabletop, you start looking at surfaces and going, is there a way to prevent that kind of thing from happening?
Yeah, so the film does exactly that. So, you know, the motto we have is spend hundreds to save thousands. And I think the tabletop you're referring was a $16,000 refinish on a tabletop where they could have spent a few $100 and then they would have never had that issue.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then you walk around these very large yachts that are, you know, that are all hand finished, and details matter. And you start to understand what repairs look like. And just the reality, particularly in charter boats, where there's guests coming on board that really don't understand protocols, what it is to, you know, treat a large yacht. And so kind of mitigating the potential for failure with a product that is transparent. And yeah, you see it, but you don't see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And yeah, I could see how this is a product that really would make a big difference in a lot of our yacht spaces, just the way boats are being used.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think on our own boat, we could see how, you know, we have divers that go off the side of our boat all the time, and we're always watching those tanks and paying attention to our gel coat finishes, but you know, it's a reality check. Interesting. So where are you going from here?
Newport tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow in the morning. It's Newport, Rhode Island for the Newport Boat Show.
Fantastic. I will see you there. I catch a flight out tomorrow myself. So, yeah, we'll get up there and understand the weather's going to be pretty amazing and be fun to follow up and learn more about your business while we're up there, Eric.
Thank you very much, Ray.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Rick with Yachting USA. And until next time, I'm out of here.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to introduce you to Rick Thomas,
All right.
the host
Steve?
of our show tonight.
Who happens to be with Steve, the host of our show tonight.
It's a friendly takeover.
Yes, it is. Yachtco and Triton Magazine,
Right.
Triton News. So listen, we have a lot of fun. There's a great turnout here tonight. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
fantastic.
And you guys were really kind to give us a spot here. And we've had a lot of conversations with the sponsors that have showed up. People
Sure.
have actually paid money to be here, which I'm not one of those. And you actually probably paid a lot of money to be here because you put it all together.
No, we're here to pull the industry together. It's kind of our mission, like to connect the industry with technology. And so Yachtco, which we merged together with Triton a few years ago.
Right.
Our goal is to kind of pull together the industry with technology and connect the industry, with old school, connectivity.
Right,
and,
right.
As we all do.
And then, of course, incorporating that with new age stuff, such as what we're doing right now, this
Yeah.
podcast. And
It's my first podcast, everybody. So hello, everybody.
I'm not going to say it. Whatever the vodka's.
Cranberries helps.
Yeah,
You can edit that part out.
yeah. We don't. We actually don't censor anything. So you're live.
Yeah.
No, this is cool. And so I've watched over the years, you guys have definitely scaled. I thought that was cool when Triton came into Yachtco. But you've not stopped.
Yeah.
You've got some really interesting things happening going on.
Yeah, I mean,
right
a lot of people don't know we acquired a company in Australia called Boat Deck and yachtandboat.com and social mediators. And we've been on the move. We're basically trying to consolidate, a very fragmented industry in a way and pull people together because, so many people in yachting do so many great things. But we're all kind of running down our own lanes. And if we can pull it together with technology, which, we work with a lot of associations, the International Super Yacht Society, the Seakeepers Foundation, the USA, Kitties
I'm
here.
involved in all of those.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, how do you get successful in this industry? Number one, show up, participate, be part of what's going on. And when it's done right, you get an equation that looks like 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I see happening here, which is we're really kind of groovy to plug into.
Yeah. Every partnership we do is like that. So we've recently partnered with boat shows all over the world. So we've partnered with boat shows from Perth, Australia to Sanctuary Cove to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, the Cannes Boat Show. We've got people there this week.
Right. You're heading over to
Cancun, Mexico. You and I need to go there. Actually, forget that.
Yeah, my
need to
son's
go over
across
there.
the table in the camera.
Tristan and I need to go there.
Well, we actually had one of our sponsors, Yucatan Yacht and Ship. They're building a yacht over in the Yucatan Peninsula right now, right outside of Cancun.
Yeah.
So there's a good reason to go over there just to check out that operation.
So I cut my teeth in this industry. I'm not going to say how long ago because I still think I'm Tristan's age.
Yeah,
but
that's two of us, brother.
There were a very limited number of shipyards. And like last year I was at the Cannes Boat Show and there were more new boat manufacturers than I could even count on, like multiple hands and toes. And, you go around the world and there's some quality builders like Turkey.
Oh, yeah.
There's some fantastic builders popping up in Turkey, Spain. It's no longer just isolated to Germany and Holland.
Yeah, no, it has certainly evolved. I know when I got in the business, we watched what was happening in Taiwan. And, initially it was pretty crappy stuff coming out of there, but then Americans got over there and started managing the builds and companies like Horizon started to scale and they started building a freaking good boat. Also, when I got into business many years ago, there was over 45 shipyards in North America building crew-served yachts. And now there's depends how you count them, but you can count them on one hand, unfortunately.
Well, so back in the day when I first went to Singapore and Malaysia and Thailand, I met Bob Livingston. Did you ever know Bob?
I did know Bob.
Yeah?
Yes.
So Bob Livingston was the owner of American Marine in Malaysia. and they were building Grand Banks.
Yep.
And I was reading Power Motor Yacht or Yachting or one of the publications. And there was an editorial from one of the boat owners and customers. And they said, you know, when are we gonna like stop giving business to the Italians or the Europeans? We need to stick with American-built boat owners, boats, you know. And he goes, proud owner of a thing. And the editor wrote back, Mr. So-and-so,
Your boat was actually
your boat was built in Malaysia by American Marines.
Right. Yeah,
it's a global world.
It is a global, and that's the beauty of it, because you bring in basically talent from around the world that collaborates, and you end up by and large with a pretty decent product if it's put together right, managed right.
Absolutely.
Overseen. And it is our reality now. We've lost so much boat building in the United States, but we have still such a dynamic industry. We are still the yachting capital of the world here. And, you know,
although
so
I think Palm Beach is coming on strong.
But you know, you drive around and you just look at all the white boats down here, and they got ways to go. Just like when you go to Monaco,
live there,
they try
so
to
I'm
tell
just
you.
tired of the drive.
So Steve, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, we talked about you guys scaling. You got one more big thing that's coming out. Are you able to talk to me about that tonight, or we have to push this down the road?
Well, is this live?
This is live.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Well, Abby, Ona.
Yeah, Abby and I spoke actually a couple days ago.
Well, no, I don't know. I mean, I have to respect.
I think it's amazing. You've got an amazing talent coming on board with us. And
we're really excited about the future with Abby and Ono and the entire A-Crew platform. They've done an amazing job in Europe, and there's so much synergy between like A-Crew and Triton and YATCO and our global team, and it's just going to be really amazing. Individually,
I'm impressed. No, I really, when I heard about this, and I'll keep that part confidential, how I did hear about it, but no, I thought it was really incredible. And I did have a conversation with Abby a couple of days ago, and she admonished me to be a little careful, which I respect, but at the same time, it's like,
this will be on
delayed cast, absolutely. How cool this is that when you understand her history with A-Crew and her engagement in this industry and how dynamic she's been, and then you look at what you guys have put together, this is absolutely 1 + 1 = 3, or even maybe 5.
Yeah. No, we were searching. So YATCO's been a strong brand, you know, in the US and doing what we're doing. But like I was actually searching to balance our company more to Europe. You know, we have a lot of business in Europe and now all the way over to Australasia. And balancing our team with the A-Crew is just fantastic. We've got a couple great partners, and I'm just super excited.
I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to the future, and you and I are going to sit down, do a deep dive, go down a couple rabbit holes in the near future.
Well, we got to get off of vodka and get to bourbon.
Or tequila. Although, you know what? Jefferson's Ocean small batch bourbon, there's nothing.
I'm all for
nothing like do that. Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All
Tristan,
right.
thank you.
Absolutely. Beth, thank you. And until next time, I'm out of here.
Cheers.